Okay, so what we'll do today is, firstly, I'll explain to you in very simple words how to look at the chart. Because that once you understand, then everything else starts becoming simple. Okay, and after that, I've made some 5 or 6 charts over here. So we will go through that, and then I will prompt you if required, but I want you all to give me the answers to that. Okay. Now, first of all, if you want, just make quick notations of what I'm saying. You basically, when you start looking at the chart, first of all, before you even start looking at the chart, so to say, you have to understand which is the Karak Bhav and which is the Karak planet. This, if you don't catch correctly, you will start going on the wrong this thing, wrong path, so to say. Okay. Okay, it's coming. Subra, are you there? Subra, your audio is still connecting. Subra, can you hear it?
Yeah.
We have just started, so I'll just repeat that one second. So basically, the most important thing that you need to see before you even start analyzing this, after you have heard the question, understand which is the Karak Bhav and which is the Karak planet. Most important. After some time, you'll understand that the chart also gives you certain hints, which we'll see later on as we go along. You'll understand. But Karak Bhav. So let us say we are talking about the first case which we are going to take about is, let us say, the child's admission. The girl's admission is in USA, which is the Dashmi had analyzed all that. So we'll take that up also. So if we say child, what is the Karak Bhav for that? Fifth Bhav, correct? So Bhav is fifth. So I will focus my eyes on fifth Bhav, which is the Karak planet Jupiter, correct? So these two I have caught, correct? Are you understanding? Step by step. There are only 2 simple steps. If you understand this, the secret you have understood. So firstly, Karak Bhav and Karak planet is the first step to identify it correctly. Most important. Okay. Second thing is basically you can see the chart from 3 angles. So you write down one. First is Shubha or Ashubha. That is auspicious or inauspicious, whatever you want to call it. I normally say Shubha or Ashubha. You can call it positive, negative also. Don't go by the words. Okay. Second thing is by the strength of the planet. Just write down, I'll explain. Second point is the strength of the planet. Okay. And third one is the Karak Tattva. That is where you actually join the dots. Okay. Now, what do I mean by this? You understand? If you have understood that first point, which you have already understood, this you have understood the analysis. Shubh and Ashubh. No.
तिसरं परत सांगणार
Karak,
काय
Karak, Karak. Significant. Karak. Child ka Karak is Jupiter. Father ka Karak is Sun. Wife ka Karak is Venus. The Karak Tattva, the significant. See, each planet signifies something, and each house also signifies something. So that you need to know. That exhaustive list I'll give you that video. But every time, like I tell you, I hope you all have got those 10 Rashis and this thing ready. So every time I tell you, you can keep noting down. Okay? Like Saturn is Chacha. Father's elder brother is also Saturn. Okay. So basically, what I mean by this, Shubh and Ashubh. Okay. Shubh and Ashubh, or even if you look at strength, it will more or less balance out. So when you identify a planet, let us say you're talking about the child, Jupiter. If Jupiter is seated in the 6th, 8th, or 12th house from Udayam, they are called trick houses. Trick houses are negative houses. Okay. Now, you can't just jump at it and say, oh, it's the 6th house that is got. If 6th house for some reason is signifying something correlated to that, or 12th is correlated to, like for in this girl's case, it is foreign. Foreign is 12th. So then your 12th will not be taken as bad. You have to take it as foreign. Okay. But at the same time, the 12th bhav and negativity will be there. So you have to see from a very different angle, which we'll see later on. See what is the negativity in that foreign, whatever. Okay. So when I say Shubh Ashubh, it is the 6, 8, 12 thing. Okay. Second one is the strength. Now, what is the strength? You all know what is exalted, what is debilitated. So in very simple words, exalted means strong, debilitated means weak. Correct? Now, if it is exalted in its own sign, it is like saying, मैं मेरे खुद के बाप के घर में बैठा हूँ और मेरे कुर्सी पर बैठा हूँ, तो I am double strong. If I am sitting in a friend's house, I am comfortable. See, I am just putting some parameters for you to understand. So if I am sitting in my own house, okay, that is Niluga, who is speaking in front of me.
No, this is Ansha.
Hello,
Yes,
Ansha,
yes.
how are you? You look like your mother, exact replica of your mother. म्हणून मला in Niluga म्हटले तुम्ही. Okay. So basically, you have to see whether the planet is seated in its own house, so in its own Rashi. So if Jupiter, let us say, is seated in a 9th Rashi, वो खुद की राशि है, बरोबर? So it will be very strong. If a planet is seated in a friendly planet ka house, it is comfortable, बरोबर? Exalted planet. Now if it is seated in a summer, so summer is equal. So there it is, ऐसा ऐसा. या ना. If it is seated in a enemy house, तो उसका परिस्थिति क्या है? So that is what I mean by strength. So if it is exalted, it is strong. But where is it seated? Is it seated in its own Rashi or is it seated in an enemy Rashi? So it may be strong, but it is in an enemy Rashi. What does that mean? That it is fighting for it. वो दब नहीं गया है, वो झगड़ा कर रहा है. Okay. So that is the strength of it. So Uch, Neech, Swarashi, all that. Okay. And the third thing, okay, till this point, have you understood? The third point is now the complex part of it. यहाँ तक सब समझ में है. Like I said, the first parameter you will see is the Karak planet and Karak Bhav. You will identify that and keep it by the side. Second, you will start analyzing all these parameters: Karak Bhav, Karak planet, Udayam Lord, the Karak Lord, whatever it is, from these three angles. First one was the Shubha Ashubha. Okay, whether it will give a positive fall or a negative fall. Second thing was the strength of it, bal jo bolte hain, how strong is it? Is it in a good environment? Is it in a inimical environment? Whatever. ये point तक सब simple है. Now the third point, which is actually not complex, but compared to this is complex, is where you actually start joining the dots. So what do you mean by dots? Each planet, it signifies something. Each house signifies something. Each planet seated in a house signifies something. Like for example, Jupiter is Karak of child. 12th house is the house of foreign settlement. Jupiter is also Karak of Jeev, so it is also health, Jeev Karak. 12th house is also hospital. So what is it? Is it that the daughter is in hospital? Because Jupiter is a child. बराबर. उसके साथ ये बैठा क्या? जीव कारक है वो. So it is the health of the daughter. Both same, no? Jupiter is child. Are you understanding what I'm saying? And 12th house is hospital. So if that is happening, then the thing is going that way. If Mars is intervening somewhere, so it's a rogue question. So don't get bogged down by this. As we do the examples, you'll understand. But what I'm trying to say, the third component of this analysis is joining the dots vis-a-vis the character. Simple. First, that is all that. If you understood this, then now you start understanding analysis. I think maybe the thing was too overpowering till this point. यहाँ point तक समझा सर? Is my voice coming out?
Yes, yes.
Manish?
Ask here.
I understood the strength of the Bhav and planet. So isn't the auspiciousness or Shubh or Ashubh will also be told by where it is sitting?
That was my sentence. I think you missed that out. When I started off, I said that the first and second points are very similar to each other. See, Shubh and Ashubh is basically trying to show the positivity or negativity of an event. Strength, show the strength, but my strength, can I use it for a negative thing or can I use it for a positive? So that is how that Shubh, Ashubh and strength, it's a very subtle difference between them. Frankly speaking, you have to see a planet and see all the parameters that go around it. कहाँ बैठा है, किसके साथ बैठा है, किसके नीचे बैठा है, कौन उसको एस्पेक्ट कर रहा है. All these are the 4 or 5 things that you need to see. Clear? Anyone else has any doubt? Difficulty? Okay. Arvind Kaka, all of it? Okay.
हो हो माझं कनेक्ट होत नव्हतं.
Okay. No problem. Video वरती पण तो दिसेल पण काय नाही. I just told it. I'll very quickly do it for you again. Basically, there are 2 major aspects that you have to understand. First aspect, before you start analyzing, understand the Karak Bhav and the Karak planet. Okay. Analysis you do it 3 ways. First way is when you see the chart from the Shubh Ashubh point of view. Planet Shubh है कि अशुभ है. Second उसका strength बल जो है, ग्रह बल ये बघायचं. And third is the Karak Tattva and connect. Okay.
बरोबर.
Now let's start taking examples. Do you all have anything to say, or should we start with the examples? Okay. So this is the first example which I'm taking. Now I'm going to be. You all are going to be talking here. I'm just going to read. Otherwise, you will never learn. So don't worry. Don't look at this at all. Don't look at this at all. This whole paper. Okay. Even if you see, you get more confused. So it will better you don't see. Now tell me. The question is, native's daughter wants to go abroad for further studies. Now you first tell me, what is the Karak of studies? All of you.
Mercury. Mercury
Mercury. Daughter.
is again
Venus.
Mercury.
Venus.
Daughter is Venus and Mercury. Venus actually you can consider as the elder daughter, though she has only one daughter. But Venus is also a Karak of this thing. What is it called? Girl, daughter also, female.
Daughter as well, yes.
And Mercury also. So Mercury वो वापस उधर ही आ गया. अब ये Hora Lord भी Venus है. बराबर? Okay. Now, which is the Karak Bhav for child?
5th house.
Correct.
Fifth house.
Fifth
Karak
house.
planet. Okay, Karak planet for a child is Jupiter.
Jupiter, yeah.
Correct. If you consider girl child, it can be Mercury oblique Venus. So if you remember my statement which I did at the start of the thing, the chart will also try to help you to see what it is. So as we go along, you will understand it. Okay. So just now let's not break our heads to Jupiter है कि Venus पकड़ो कि Mercury पकड़ो. The chart will tell you. Okay. The fact that Hora Lord is Venus is giving you a hint. Okay. So remember that. So Bhav Venus, अरे भाव 5th भाव planet Jupiter या Venus या Mercury. Okay, चलो. अभी who is the Udayam Lord?
Moon.
Correct. अभी like what we said, एक planet पकड़ते हैं और उसका पूरा चीरफाड़ करते हैं. अभी Moon. Okay. Moon is seated in which Rashi?
Fourth.
4th Rashi. Correct.
EC.
4th Rashi also indicates what? People know. I don't know whether you know. Dominantly know.
Home
Mother
atmosphere.
हाँ
Mother like mother, home atmosphere.
हाँ but फिर भी अपन ये इसके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. So related to this, can you tell me what it is?
Home atmosphere and moving away from
Moon is-
home.
Okay,
Moon is
correct.
seated in house, isn't it?
No, don't jump to that. I'm just asking you. See this, the Udayam Lord is Moon. So I am asking you, Udayam Lord and the Rashi which it is seated in is the 4th Rashi. So I don't know who said. I think Rashmi said that home atmosphere. No? I think Rashmi said it, right? Okay. So home atmosphere एक है. I don't know whether you are aware of 4th house is also the house of education. 4th house is the house of education. Okay. So yeah. Now let Shipra you were saying ये moon कहाँ बैठा है? तो एक moon यहाँ बैठा है और दूसरा moon यहाँ बैठा है.
5th and 9th.
So now let us just see the Udayam Lord ka Shubh, Ashubh, strength and all those things. Okay? Let us just go step by step. Even if we don't come to any analysis, it is okay. These points need to be very clear. So now tell me.
We will take 8th and 12th as well for
Why?
moon. because it is the 8th Rashi and 12th Rashi. Bhav is 5th and 9th.
8th Rashi, 12th Rashi.
So we start from 1 where Rahu is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The 12th house.
नहीं नहीं wait, don't jump 1 minute. Like we are coming. अभी एक एक पकड़ लो ना. अभी we are talking about this moon in this house. Okay, we are looking at moon in this house. Now let's just talk about that. Moon का इधर परिस्थिति क्या है? Strength क्या है?
Sun is up and down.
हाँ?
वो नीच में है.
अभी इसमें
मतलब ये
एक मिनट
strong.
एक मिनट. All of you don't answer out of turn. I get all the technical. नहीं अमी what did
So
you
that
say?
Auro is down, no? So
What?
it is
हाँ so ये कौन सी राशि कौन सी है ये?
Rashi is
8, 8.
8th राशि.
yeah.
बरोबर. 8th राशि में मून का स्टेटस क्या रहता है? Debilitated.
Yes.
Debilitated.
बरोबर. यहाँ सेकंड राशि में exalted रहता है और उसके diametrical opposite 8th राशि में down रहता है. See the chart.
बराबर है.
बरोबर.
Correct.
Okay. So basically, moon is debilitated. This you don't get in your software. I have purposely switched over to this software so that you all can correlate. I have stopped at मेरा वो professional software से निकाल के I'm doing it substitute for you only. So ये सब अपने को करना पड़ता है which I keep telling you. So now if moon, okay, now एक I'm prompting you telling you. 5th house is the house of what?
Kids.
Kids. Moon is the karak of what other than mother and all that. Last time I told you. Financial loss.
Travel also.
Travel
Financial
also.
loss.
Financial loss as well. See, you have to
हाँ.
pick up out of that. You have to pick up. Debilitated. Yani it is a loss.
Okay.
So what is this telling me? The native has asked me the question, not the daughter. So the daughter is causing a what?
Financial.
Financial loss. Correct? Okay. चल. यहाँ तक तो ठीक है. Where is the other sun seated now? Other moon seated. अभी this one.
9.
Raghav, you are
9.
saying. मेरे को ना why don't you change your names? मेरा दिमाग नहीं चल रहा. Rashmi, now you're telling this is in 9th, 12th Rashi. Okay. So now, Rashmi, tell me, moon in 12th Rashi. Moon in 12th Rashi. Rashmi, tell me what does it mean?
Moon in 12th. पहली बात तो moon is for the foreign and all.
नहीं, moon is not foreign. Moon is
नहीं,
travel.
12th.
12th is foreign. And moon is what?
Moon is travel.
Correct. And
Moon is in a way
the sun is
financial
what?
loss as well.
नहीं, one minute. वो छोड़ दो. Moon is travel. 12th Rashi is foreign. Sun is what? Institute.
Sun is government.
Government or any institute bodies is this thing.
Yes.
9th is what? Anyone can answer. Huh?
Bhagya.
Bhagya is one. And second thing related
Father.
to travel, overseas travel
Father.
is 9th house. Oversease travel is 9th Rashi.
Higher education.
Higher education. Correct. Correct. So this one missed out. Ami missed out, so we are doing it again for you. Ami. Moon is the karak of travel. I'm doing for everyone. Moon is the karak of travel. 12th Rashi is the Rashi of foreign settlement. Sun is the karak of institute or education also for that matter. And 9th is the Rashi of Bhagya as well as overseas thing as well as higher studies. So that is what this girl is going for. She's already done her masters in psychology and she wants to go ahead for PhD. So Udayam Lord का क्या परिस्थिति है? Now one thing I don't know whether I told you, यहाँ पे वो debilitated है, यहाँ पे वो ठीक है, not bad, not good. So in such a case, always the transit planet has got more strength than the Jama planet. In the sense, suppose I'm just doing it. Suppose let us say moon is what the Jama moon is seated here. Jama moon, मैं अभी suppose Jama moon was seated here. So what is it? It is exalted. Second Rashi Jama moon. But ये जो transit moon है, वो 8वें राशि में debilitated है. So now there is a confusion. Na? Ye lo ke wo lo. So always the transit fellow has the upper hand. Okay. So now in our case, this Jupiter is okay. So lena dena nahi. This guy is debilitated. So what does it show? What is the Udayam Lord का strength? Udayam Lord का strength क्या है? Strong है कि weak है?
Weak, no?
Weak, no, obviously. आठवें राशि में plus debilitated. बरोबर? So basically, what this is trying to tell you is that the Udayam Lord is only weak. When Udayam Lord is weak, the Prashna becomes very weak. Example. It is like saying that the king is handicapped. कुछ भी उसको तलवार बिलवार चलाने को नहीं आता है or whatever. Clear? So it shows a weak.
You said that Brahma planet would be more important than the transit planet.
Transit planet
So
is
the
more important. Transit planet
planet is more. Okay.
Transit planet has the upper hand. Final decision is with the transit planet, not Jama planet. Okay. So chalo, abhi first thing we sorted out was Udayam. That is the first thing that we do. Udayam ka paristhiti kya hai? So Udayam Lord is weak. That means this Prashna is little weak. Okay. Now tell me, Udayam is seated in what sort of a Rashi? Sthir Rashi, Dual Rashi or movable Rashi? वाला forgetting that. ये मैंने
Water,
बोला
no?
7 नहीं water नहीं. स्थिर है कि ड्यूअल राशि है कि फिक्स राशि है?
Movable.
Yes.
Movable. बरोबर ना? Because we had said that this is ये 7 है, ये 7 है, ये 7 है, ये 7 है. 7 ये कोने का है, तो ये यहाँ भी जाएगा, यहाँ भी जाएगा, ड्यूअल हो गया. ये उसके पीछे रह गया तो स्थिर हो गया, पीछे रह गया तो रुक गया, ये आगे है तो निकल गया. So 7 के आगे वाला will be movable. Okay. So now movable Rashi, by just common sense, what do you think it indicates? Movement, no?
She'll be leaving home for
She will
some.
be leaving home. Now, whether that is Shubh, Ashubh, वो देखेंगे अपन as we go. Now, even if before we go to the Karak planet and Karak Bhav, let us examine, since we are examining the Udayam and Udayam Lord, let us see which planet is approaching Udayam. If you are from the
Mercury.
Mercury. Mercury stands for what? Two things. First is what?
Documentation.
Okay, just 3 documentation. But main thing you're forgetting, Mercury is for daughter, Mercury is for education.
Okay.
And if you want to go still further, Mercury okay, I'm jumping a little bit. If you don't understand, step back. Mercury is seated in which Rashi? Or which house? Second house? Second house is the house of what? Speech. Correct?
Speech.
Correct. Mercury is the Karak of communication. So she is doing her education in psychology, which is the, or Mercury is also mental, head, brain. So her source of income bolo is going to be brain related in the second house of speech. Okay. Okay, so let's not do that. I think I'm jumping to it. Let's go slowly. So ये Mercury approaching Udayam is doctor, Mercury is education, and Mercury is documentation. Correct? Okay. Now, which planet is seated in Udayam? Is there any planet seated in Udayam? No. Can you see anything in the square? In the square?
No.
तो नहीं है ना? So
Nothing.
it's not there. Okay. Now, one thing which maybe we'll realize later on, which is a planet which is already gone ahead. The 12वें राशि में कौन सा है? Venus. Venus, let us just analyze it. Venus is also the Hora Lord. That also tells a story. Venus is the Rashi Lord of which all houses over here? Can you tell me? ये चार्ट पे देखो.
11th house,
11th house and
4th house.
4th house, correct? 11th house and 4th house. 4th house is the house of what? home atmosphere,
home atmosphere, education.
education. Okay. वहां पर कौन बैठा है? कविकु, छत्र. Okay. Okay, let's not go. I think I'm going to let's keep it a surface. I decided I want.
CHA म्हणजे काय? CHA म्हणजे काय?
CH म्हणजे छत्रा. छत्रा म्हणजे कविकु.
छत्र.
छत्रा और
Okay.
कविकु. Some people call it छत्रा, some people call it कविकु. Okay, let's not go
Okay.
into the analysis. I'm mistaken. Now let us take the Karak planet. Okay, and then we take. For starters, let us take Jupiter. Jupiter कहाँ बैठा है? Jupiter एक यहाँ बैठा है. Jupiter एक यहाँ बैठा है.
8th house.
बराबर? Okay. So as a let's say protocol, let us always approach the transit first and then go to the jump as a general protocol. Okay. So ये जो बैठा है, ये अभी कहाँ बैठा है?
8th house.
8th house. 8th house is the house of major
Obstacles,
what?
accidents.
Obstacles. No, accident. No. Let us just keep pertaining to
Obstacles. Yeah.
obstacles, correct? So the Karak planet is in obstacles. Now the planets in and around it will tell you the thing. What is Mercury? See, the
Education.
native is asking me, correct? So two things are there, education and daughter.
Daughter.
बरोबर ना? So the Karak planet Jupiter is seated in the 8th house of obstacles. Obstacles related to what? Mercury, that is the daughter and the education. It is also connected to snake, which is crisis. Correct? Crisis. And it is snake is connected to Arudam. So if you remember, I told you Arudam is the reason. Okay. So the reason for his problem, this is going out of time. Okay, after 10 minutes, you'll come back. The reason for his problem has got something to do with this house and this house. What do you think it could be? The problem that the native is facing now is okay. I think I'm going to leave it. So either you take one. Let's not go because then you are
Business.
no.
Because of business.
No. Don't. We just take 5 cases at this. अब तक ये point तक सब समझ में है. By the
Yeah,
flow by
very-
mistake, I go on to the next case.
One small basic query. Why did we go to house 8 to study that?
ये है ना Karak of
Jupiter.
child.
हाँ, okay.
So do you remember? So other what? Sorry.
No, we started with Jupiter because that is the Karak planet.
So see basically
Yeah.
Jupiter, Venus, या Mercury, these three में से कोई तो भी will indicate the daughter. Okay. So Jupiter by default is the Karak of child. So we are starting out with that. Okay. So Jupiter ये अपन देखा इसको अपन analyze किया. अब ये Jupiter को tell me about this Jupiter. This Jupiter. Which house is it seated in?
3rd house.
Third house.
3rd house.
थर्ड हाउस का राशि कौन लॉर्ड है?
Virgo. Mercury.
करेक्ट. मर्क्यूरी इज द कारक ऑफ व्हाट?
Education.
Communication,
Education
education.
and daughter. बरोबर. Also, one of you had said earlier, and I don't know, one of the girls had said documentation. So if somebody is going foreign, what? There are so many documents that need to be done, right? Applications, visa, other admissions, all that. Correct? So this Jupiter, which is, let us say at the moment, let us say out of those 3 which we have written here, this is the child, let us say. The child is caught by whom? The crocodile. Kaviku
Kaviku.
Chitra is catching the Karak planet of the child. In which house is it seated? Third
Third.
house of communication and documentation under the lordship of Mercury, which is again documentation and paperwork. Clear so far?
Yeah.
So what we did so far is we just analyzed the Udayam and we analyzed the Karak planet. What is the thing left now? I said Karak Bhav and Karak planet. Did we analyze the Karak Bhav? No. Which is the Karak Bhav for a child? Fifth house?
Fifth.
Correct. So I have circled it, fifth house, correct? Fifth house is seated in which Rashi? Rashi number 8. What does 8 specify?
Obstacle.
Obstacles.
Obstacle.
Okay. उसके साथ कौन बैठा है उधर?
Moon.
Moon is what?
Loss.
Financial loss. Financial loss.
Finance.
Correct.
Financial loss.
उसका
Manish, I'll ask something. Financial gain किससे देखा जाता है? When loss we see through moon.
big financial gain is Jupiter, small financial gain is Venus. Okay, and 11th lord also. That is gain, no? Second lord, 11th lord are all paisa related gains. Jupiter is big money, Venus is small money. And Lakshmi is Venus, that is overall money. Clear? Are we clear so far?
Yeah.
I don't want to go any further on this chart. Anything else you all are finding difficult here, you ask me, because this is a huge, deep analysis. I think the same cases we take up across 2 or 3 terms and we go to the next step. So today I am just going to show you 5 or 6 charts where we just do this one. Okay? आगे का chart लो.
एक मिनिट आपण फक्त याच्यामध्ये ज्युपिटर केलं ना आपण व्हिनस मर्क्युरी नाही करायचं का?
नहीं,
Then we
गरज
don't
नहीं.
want to go
But let us do
नहीं,
it.
okay.
What is no, let's try that. Let's try. So Venus जर म्हटलं तर when is Venus seated? Venus is seated here. Venus is seated
Yeah.
here. Okay.
Correct.
Now, if you see Venus is seated in the 7th house, let us say, because we are taking the transit planet first. 7th house का daughter से और education से कुछ लेना है क्या? कुछ भी नहीं.
नाही.
12th house का कुछ daughter से या education से लेना है क्या? हाँ
No.
है ना. Foreign
Foreign settlement.
foreign
Foreign
settlement.
settlement.
Okay. So okay. तो ये यहाँ तक ये पकड़ लो. Now, which was the third planet we had said? Mercury, correct?
Mercury. Mercury.
So let's take Mercury. So Mercury कहाँ बैठा है? ये Mercury उदय में बैठा है और अंदर Mercury कहाँ बैठा है? यहाँ बैठा है.
8th house.
So now Mercury is seated in the 8th house of
Obstacle.
along with
Jupiter.
at this point only without wasting a breath, Jupiter is seated in the Rashi of
Mercury ना?
Saturn.
correct Mercury,
Saturn.
correct. तो ये कौन से दो planet का connection आ गया इधर?
Jupiter and Mercury.
इधर कौन से planet का दो planet का connection आ गया?
Jupiter, Mercury.
So what is it telling you? Venus का इतना weightage Venus,
Correct.
correct. And now if you see Jupiter, Mercury देखो, या Jupiter, Mercury देखो, it is reading the same story. So it doesn't matter so much. But the thing is, this is the Karak of child. There is no option for that. बरोबर?
Moon.
नहीं, moon नहीं. 5th house is the Karak of child.
Fifth house. Fifth house. Child, yes.
Good, understood? Next chart
Yeah.
here. So
Yeah.
let's just take some 3 minutes here. Okay, the 3
So,
minutes is हाँ बोलो.
In this,
हाँ.
Mercury is also a karak of money.
हाँ,
So
Mercury.
would Mercury is also a karak of money.
No. Mercury is Karak of business. If you can say.
Business. Not. I thought okay, maybe cash then.
नहीं, Mercury is paper money, the currency. That is that note is Mercury is paper. So paper money you can say is. So let's do one thing. We have got 2.5 minutes. Let me just quickly recap everything for you. So we first analyze the Udayam Lord. Okay, Udayam Lord is Moon. So we saw where all Moon is seated. Moon is seated here. Moon is seated here. We analyzed that. Okay. Next, we took the Karak planet, considering Jupiter as Karak, seeing where it is seated, analyze that. Okay. Third is we saw that the Karak Bhav, which is fifth. बरोबर? At the same time, what we didn't see here is कारक भाव का लॉर्ड कौन है? मार्स. वो कहाँ बैठे हैं? यहाँ बैठे हैं और यहाँ बैठे हैं. Okay. We are just identifying this one. We are not analyzing it. Clear? It's just 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
Once this goes off, we'll come back again. And I'm just pause. I'm putting this thing on pause.